Bryan Duncan on Bryan Duncan.
Bryan Duncan is a middle-class American white preacher's kid. Grew up all over the country because his dad moved around a lot. His dad's a preacher, and that usually means traveling to and fro about the face of the earth. He's kind of a traveling evangelist when he started, and I don't know. That's it. Well, the world's full of crazy people, haven't got a clue to who they are. There's a time to be happy, there's a time to be sad. Let's take the first one. There's a conscious effort to say, okay, it's party time. I still want to have a good time, and I still am every bit as smart aleck as I've ever been. But I don't think a lot of people have understood how many tears are just below the smile. I've used sarcasm and sense of humor as a means of offsetting the frustration.
Bryan Duncan talks about the pressures of growing up in the church.
Like most people, I've been a deeply frustrated individual, raised under an incredible lot of pressure to be all that God wanted me to be without ever having an opportunity to have Him implant those convictions in my life for himself.
This is a Bryan Duncan radio special. Bryan's latest release is Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend on Myrrh Records. Many know Bryan Duncan from his solo albums, Whistling in the Dark, Strong Medicine, just to name two, but many have been his fans since the days he was lead singer for Sweet Comfort Band. And on his latest release, Bryan went back into the studio and re-recorded a song he first recorded over a decade ago with Sweet Comfort Band.
I mean, it's probably the best song that I ever wrote lyrically, because it's God's point of view talking to us, and it doesn't come off like, do this, do that kind of thing. It's an encouragement, as if God were speaking directly to you. It's a great way to present Christ in a loving way, and the way music comes off anyway. It's important to know that God still loves you and that He has a plan for your life, and that song still characterizes those feelings better than anything that I've felt in recent years.
I would like to say, just before I leave you, I'll be back someday. With me I will take you, so do not leave. Only watch and pray, wait for my return. I've done what I must do. My work here is complete, and it's all been done for you. Leave what I have stated, I will give you peace. All your tribulations, till I come again. Please know that I love you, stay by your side, only now in spirit, still be your guide. You will not suffer alone, I have suffered for you, I love you with my life. I'll prepare a place where we can live together, meet you face to face, to share our new forever. Don't let your love grow cold. I will not allow what's more than you can bear. Please know that I love you. I'll stay by your side, if only now in spirit, still be your guide. You will not suffer alone, I have suffered for you, I love you with my life. Love you with my life. Love you with my life. Yeah. Love you with my life. 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 Yeah. Love you with my life. 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 Yeah.
Bryan Duncan, Love You With My Life. a song he recorded a few years ago with Sweet Comfort Band and now re-recorded and put on his new album, Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend, on Myrrh Records. Well, we're going to make room for Lonnie, the kids, and Grandma Curry. You'll see what I mean when we continue. Now we continue with Bryan Duncan, who, as he put it, grew up a middle-class white preacher's kid. And on his new album, Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend, he wrote a song about that.
It says, grab the keys and run, son, to the station wagon. Let's all go. Sunday go to meeting. It goes, make room for Lonnie, the kids, and Grandma Curry, are people actually out of a church that I went to, or that my dad pastored in High Point, North Carolina. We used to call her Sister Curry, and she was my Sunday school teacher, and Lonnie is a blind man that we used to go pick up on Sunday mornings so that he could come to church. And then I always went around and picked up all of the kids that were too young to drive. So I mean, it's just kind of the story of what church was like for me when I was growing up.
Keys and run, son, to the station wagon. Let's all go. Sunday go to meeting, good time. Make room for Lonnie, the kids, and Grandma Curry on Old Folks Road. Sunday go to meeting, good time. We'll be there early to shake some hands and get to know. Sunday go to meeting, good time. We'll look around some before the sermon to see who's missing. Sunday go to meeting. Let's get together just to spend some time. Forget the clock up on the wall. Replace the pressure with some peace of mind. Jesus has something for us all. No need to try to live this life alone. No, no. You might find some strength in someone else, yeah. Let's get together on some common ground. Prefer the Lord above ourselves. Almost like heaven when we get together, faces glow. Sunday go to meeting, good time. Now don't you worry when we get to singing, blessings flow. I'm inviting you, so let's fly. We'll clap our hands, y'all, and stomp our feet. Close our eyes. Sunday go to meeting, yeah. We'll keep the faith, Lord. We'll leave our burdens far behind. Sunday go to meeting. Oh, all right now. The pressures of another week unwind. I'm thankful just to be alive. I sure could use a miracle divine. 'Cause I'd like to do more than survive, yeah. No way to try to live this life alone. Let's turn to him, page 23. And let us stand as we all sing the song. It's just a closer walk with thee. Oh, granted Jesus is my plea. Yeah. Walk with me. Oh, let it be, yeah. Let it be. Just a closer walk with thee.
When I sing Sunday Go to Meeting, there's a sense of hope, a sense of this is the way I want it to be. It's not the way it is, but it's the way I want it to be. We know we're not there. Let's be real honest, but let's look to Christ for the answers. Sin that separates us from Christ, and I would say that it's sin that separates us from each other most of the time. And I think that in our effort to hold up the standard of the gospel and say, well, we have to live a pure life and all that, that we give people the sense that if they have failed in their life, or if they are failing in their life, that somehow they're not acceptable. And the sin isn't acceptable, but the sinner is. The sinner is acceptable.
From a cardboard hovel on a darkened street to the well-lit windows of a penthouse suite, all our desperate souls with a human fate, we protect ourselves within the walls we make. And I stand in a corner now in my house of rest, and I bow my head, beat my breast and say, God, please forgive me for this sinner's heart. Though you show me your mercy, it's the same old story keeping us apart. And we all try to run faster to find a way out. I'm convinced if I stumble, they'll just cast me aside, market my weakness, shatter my pride. 'Cause I've watched as we've stoned the more hesitant soul. So we all must remember it's still God's grace we all need to know. We all lost sometimes, and we all feel hurt inside, and we all cry, and we all need.
Bryan Duncan, and We All Need, from Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend. Coming up, we'll hear a song that Bryan wrote for his wife Jody, and we'll hear a song about a lunatic friend when we continue. Welcome back to a Bryan Duncan radio special featuring his new album, Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend.
I know this respectable individual with a great personality, struggles on the inside, a really nice guy, but I'm afraid he lacks conviction, got these mental reservations concerning his own life, let alone why he doesn't know why. Ooh, guess I'm looking for some changes for my lunatic friend. You see, he's been accosted by the local self-righteous vigilante. lunatic.
The message is to have a lunatic friend. It's real important to have someone who you can say, hey, I've got this lunatic friend. However you want to get it out, someone that you can share your faults one to another. It's a scriptural principle that we don't take to point blank. I think everybody needs to be able to have a friend that they can tell literally anything that they feel and literally any doubts that they might have.
The kind of relationship you'd expect to have with your spouse. It is for his spouse, for his wife Jody, that Bryan Duncan wrote the song, Leave Your Light On For Me.
It's the classic romantic stuff, and I wanted the song to be a romantic song. The moon and the stars and all that stuff are just so eternal, and so, in comparison to anything else that you could use for imagery, that it seemed to be the right thing to do, even though it's been done so many times. I in no way am trying to do, it could be God or your girlfriend. I'm definitely talking about my own experience, with my wife and being gone, being apart a lot, and having kids and all the things that come between you, over the years.
On the sands of time, we have walked your hand in mine. My memories, photographs, all kind. The more in love than pictures fade, like sunsets disappear. Aimless lovers dream, but they're just castles made of sand. For an endless wave of love's demand.
Bryan Duncan, Leave Your Light On For Me, a song he wrote for his wife Jody, and a song along with 10 others that can be found on Anonymous Confessions of a Lunatic Friend, his latest release on Myrrh Records and available on high-quality cassette and compact disc. This has been a Bryan Duncan radio special. I'm Scott Wilder. Thank you for listening.